Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to run through some recent favourites. So I haven't done one of these videos in a while, I want to say. I mean, I haven't done any regular videos in a while, so definitely haven't done one of these in a little while. But rather than do kind of like a monthly favourites, I thought I'd just share some of the stuff that I've been enjoying recently, because otherwise it's like, what have I mentioned, what haven't I mentioned? It's just the stuff that off the top of my head, I'm really enjoying this stuff. First and foremost, should we start with the makeup? No, I'm going to start with the thing that I bought the most recently. I went to the Body Shop last week. I did if you didn't know, I've started a candle business with my friend Karen, and it's been incredible, but so exhausting. Like, just, we've been maxed out 24/7. And we did our very first craft stall last weekend, which was amazing. Really, just fantastic experience. I can't recommend it enough if you've got any kind of small business, even if you just do it the one time. The experience of selling to complete strangers, because from my perspective, we kind of have a built-in audience to a degree, because Karen has her own Etsy shop where she's been selling crocheted goods for quite a while. Obviously, I've got you guys, and there are a lot of you who, I didn't want to go on this. This is a tangent and a half already, but there are a lot of you who've really gone out of your way to make this a success, and I can't thank you enough. But at the same time, it's been really nice to find complete strangers pick up the products, actually want to buy them just because they want to buy the products, because they like the look of the brand, or they like the smell of the candles, whatever. That feels like, oh wow, like you're not just humoring us. So that was an amazing experience, and we've already booked several more shows for the rest of the year, but super exhausting. So like, I was like laid out for about 2 days after that. Anyway, as we were finishing up the show, we were opposite Body Shop in Lakeside Village in Doncaster, and I decided to go in and treat myself to some stuff to just kind of like a new body if they had one, but to make myself feel a little bit more human again. And I got the foot creams. The hemp one was the one I originally got because I thought, I'm going to need this. This says, for repairing ultra dry feet, 96-hour heavy duty moisture. So I've had this before. The packaging is different now, so much better than it used to be. All the packaging seems to have changed. And I used this the other day, and I kind of test. I feel like even through bath showers, I could still feel a layer of this on my feet and kind of the bottom half of my legs for like 2 days. So there's something to that. 96-hour moisture. Really liked that. And then I picked this up because I used to have this in the tub form. Those of you who've watched me for a long time may remember I used to talk this up constantly because I didn't use it for my feet. I had it in like a little pot. I used it on my cuticles. I don't know what it was, and it's exactly the same formula, but it seemed to soften and kind of not hide, but like reduce my cuticles. You know, really dry. You want to get rid of them for like a neater looking manicure. This stuff is amazing, and it still works exactly the same way. I mean, look at my hands right now. I'm about to have a manicure for the first time in months because we're going on holiday. But this is, I make cement pots for the candles. It's been a whole thing. So what I do is I just put like a little blob of it on each finger like that. Kind of just, I don't want to massage it all the way in, but I kind of just put it like that around each cuticle, and then just let it sit for a while. Once I rub it all in, this is better than any cuticle oil that I've ever used. I've got some really nice ones. I really do like the Jessica cuticle oil. I use that all the time. But now I have this back in my life. So much more for your money, number one. Also, when you do put it on your feet and your legs, it's got kind of like a tingling action to it. So I mean, I might take both of them, but I'm kind of in between which one I want to take to Florida with me right now. I'm leaning on this one because it is cooling. And I think after walking for hours every day, this might be the one. I'm going to have this as an issue rather than this. This is 48-hour instant cooling moisture for hot, active feet, whereas this is for dry feet. So I think this is going to be my Florida one. But they're effectively the same-ish product, but they do different things. And the one that I recommend the most is this one because it's also magic for around the nails. I don't know. I've never heard anybody else mention that. While we're on kind of that topic, I've nearly finished this. This is Egyptian Magic. This was sent to me just completely randomly. No one emailed me or anything in advance. It was just popped up one day. I think I mentioned this quite recently because my son got a really bad sunburn. He went away for the day with a friend and their parents. And I mean, it's not their fault. They didn't know. Milo was supposed to leave his t-shirt on. He is a very, very fair child. And we'd put we'd put SPF everywhere, and we were like, leave your t-shirt on. He took his t-shirt off. They didn't know that this was not smart for Milo. He was in the water. He refused to have, I say refused like he was kicking off, but he refused their offer of having SPF reapplied, and worst burn ever, like blisters, so bad. Once it kind of got to a point where we could put stuff on it, this was magic. Of all the stuff, of all the anything really that you could possibly use. I'm trying to think of like aloe vera, after sun, all the stuff that we used. This was the thing that made the biggest difference. It really took the heat out of it. And I've already bought another one of these to take with us. I've already put that in our case because it was literal magic. And I've been putting it on my face. I put that's like now my nightly moisturiser. How I could forget that portion of the story, I don't know. Right, makeup. So recently, a couple of months ago maybe, someone I know online called Alana very kindly gave me this. She had two and she gifted me one of them. It is the Merit, I can never remember the name of it, the Minimalist. The shade I've got is Linen, which is absolutely the shade that I would have had. It's the perfect match for me. I mean, I'll show you right now. If I just swatch this on my face, already, but it's the perfect shade for me. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I did a whole video about whether or not you should buy this, whether or not you should buy it, because I didn't have it at that point, but it was more of an anti-haul situation. For those of us who see stuff online and they're like, oh my God, I have to have all of these things. It was more of a video to say, do we need all these things? Let's see if you've got something in your collection that already does that thing. Anyway, I was trying to talk myself out of buying that through that video. And then once I had it, it's amazing. I've barely worn makeup recently. If you watch my vlogs, you will have seen it's just very few and far between. I'm like at home making things all day. I'm not going out and doing things. I'm very rarely even filming videos for this channel. So I'm just not putting on makeup regularly. And if I want to put on a little bit of something to put like just a little bit more put together, I've seen people do like full faces of makeup with this and they put it all over and they blend it all out. This to me is not that. This is if you want something that is going to give you minimal makeup. So you just put it in the areas where maybe you want to be a little more even. Like I feel like I could probably put some here. I feel like I'm a little bit red there. You want to be a little bit even. You can kind of just do like little bits, little dots, little streaks, and blend it all out. Blends beautifully, wears beautifully, and it's just a one-stop shop. It's supposed to be like a 2-in-1 foundation, concealer, but it's not really a foundation. It's more like a tint. I don't know what you want to call it, but this is exactly that for me. This is when you want a little bit of something. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm going to do a whole video about that at some point because it deserves a full review, but it has been really the only base I've been wearing. I'm just pulling for that. Like today I'm wearing that. I also have a tiny little bit of concealer under my eyes, which I'll talk about in a second, but that maybe while I'm away, I'll do like a proper test of it in the Florida heat. That'll be interesting. The other thing that I have been wearing, and I'm wearing a little dot of under my eyes right now, is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty. Tarte Double Duty Beauty, is that a slogan or is that actually the name of the product? This is the Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. The original Shape Tape for me was too heavy. Everyone raved about it, and it didn't matter how little of the product I put on, it just felt heavy, it looked cakey, it just didn't look good on me. This I had high hopes for, and it's been fantastic. It is exactly what it says, ultra creamy. It's just a little goes a long way. If you are going to do something like I do with the Minimalist, and then you want a little bit of brightness under the eyes, that's what this is. It doesn't crease. I don't find that it kind of looks super heavy, especially given that I haven't got a full foundation on. Sometimes when you put concealer under your eyes but you haven't got a full foundation, it looks mad. Sometimes I'll just dot this in those areas, blend it all out, and it looks great. I think this is fantastic. I bought a travel size, which is teeny tiny, but I kind of feel like that's as much as I need of a concealer at a time. I've got the shade 22N Light Neutral, but the reason that I've got that shade is the sample sizes were very, very limited. That said, it works perfectly well. So I would definitely recommend that as well. Okay, couple more things beauty related or makeup related. I did get a voucher to use from Yes Style, which is an Asian website. Loads of amazing skincare and stuff on there. This is not sponsored by them, but I'm just telling you. I will leave in the description below, I'll leave links to everything, and I'll star anything that was gifted or in any way gifted to me. Anyway, these were two of the things that I bought with that voucher. This is, I don't know what the brand is. It kind of looks like the brand is Want You. It says Want You here, and then Bare Lips. I didn't know what this was going to be like. So obviously I looked at swatches online, but it's kind of difficult with Asian stuff. Sometimes I'm not sure if that's what I'm looking at. You know, if I can't find an English review, I'm just guessing at things. So when it actually arrived, I thought, that might be a bit much. It might be a little bit bold for what I thought it was going to be. But it's got that, what's it called? I've got it on now. What is it called? That Clinique. I'm always like, oh, I'm going to get that. And what is it called? I want to say black cherry, but that's not right. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. That it's like a sheer glossy. It looks really, really dark. Black honey. Black honey. I can see why I thought black cherry. So I keep thinking I'm going to buy that. And that, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I might add it to my list for duty-free / holiday purchase. But it's got that kind of vibe to it. It's much sheerer when you actually swatch it than it is in the tube. Really, really hydrating. And I think it's a nice colour for me as well. I mean, you know, maybe it's not. Don't tell me if it's not. But it's kind of got that same rust tone. I really like this kind of colour. The other thing I got was from a brand called UNLEASHIA. 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 This is the Shaper Defining Eyebrow Pencil in Oatmeal Brown. I struggle with brow pencils because I like a dry pencil. Nothing too waxy, nothing with too much pigment. I like to kind of have to work it in a little bit. And I don't like it to be too dark or too warm. That's a real struggle. So I thought Oatmeal Brown. Again, I found some swatches online. This seemed to be kind of a grey brown. And it is. If I just do you a... Oh, I snapped some off. I didn't mean to do that. Swatch of a little patch there. It is kind of a neutral brown, which works for my brows right now. The only problem really I ever have with the colour of a brow pencil is it being too orange. It's not something that I have been using a lot of recently because I've had my brows microbladed for quite a long time now, but I've been letting them fade out and they've become quite pink. Really quite pink. Again, if you watch my vlogs where I'm makeup free, quite pink. That is the only reason I've been reaching for a little bit of a base recently. You know, like the Minimalist, I'll put a little stripe of it everywhere and I kind of blend a little bit over my eyebrows just to neutralise that pink. I like still the shape that I've got from the faded microblading, but I wonder if there's anything I could do. Maybe the next time I have it done. It's been more than 2 years, so I'm trying to let it fade as much as possible so that it doesn't eventually just become just like block brows. I want to leave a good amount of time. And I'm going to go to maybe someone who does like real specifically hair-like brows next time. But I don't know if there's anything I can do about the leftover pigment beyond actual removal. I don't know. Let me know if any of you have had that problem. I don't think I'm alone with that. But if any of you have had that problem and actually fixed it, keep me posted. Tell me how that went. That's it for makeup. And then one more skincare thing. I'm not telling you that this is great. This is something called Starface. If you've never seen pimple patches before, let me introduce you to a whole new world. It's basically a little invisible-ish. These little patches like this. You peel them off and you put them on the spot. And obviously clean skin. And leave them on for however long, 12 hours, however long you're supposed to leave them on for, overnight usually. It does one of two things for me. No, it doesn't. It does two things. It doesn't do one of two things. It does two things. First of all, it kind of like hides the blemish, which is great. 3 things. Kind of hides the blemish. Number one, that's a nice thing in the daytime or even in the nighttime. Number 2, I would say, depending on what kind of spot it is and what kind of patch you're using, it will reduce the spot. This completely depends on the one that you're using. Some of them are definitely better than others, and some of them work better for whiteheads, which is, I don't really get that. I get a lot of kind of cystic bumps under the skin type breakouts, rather than like red, like actually coming to a head spots. I get more eruptions underneath, or like threats, you know? That's kind of more what I deal with. And some of them just don't even touch that. So you really need to do your research. Some of them have got these like little micro dot things. It's like, as I understand it, this is probably not true at all, but as I understand it, it's almost like little needles that go into the skin and they like do things. So some of them are better than others, but let's say the second thing that these things do is when you take them off, the spot will be diminished in some way. And the third thing is that you're not touching your face. So it's going to be more likely to heal because you're not touching your face. It's not rubbing on your pillow. It's not, rubbing against your hair. It's kind of protected. It's the same theory behind, you can get, like blister patches or other kinds of, do you know what? I've just reminded me. I bought my daughter some blister patches for holiday, and I don't know what I did with them. Hopefully I didn't just throw away an envelope of blister patches, because I bought like 24, because she does struggle with those things. Anyway, same theory behind blister patches or any kind of, there's a word for it, I want to say hydra something or whatever. Those patches that help you like heal a scar or whatever. Same kind of theory, but on a tiny scale for spots. So I'm not telling you the Starface ones are good because I didn't find them to be at all. Instead of clear little circles, they're actually yellow stars. So it's supposed to be like, oh, it's fun, I don't care, whatever, I'm in the world with yellow stars on my face. Whatever, if that's what you want to do, cool. But what I do like is this little case. My very favourite ones of these that I have tried are the ones from Pixi, which, FYI, they were sent to me, but I've bought loads of different ones. The Pixi ones are definitely my favourite. They are the most effective. But I would buy this. If you're someone who uses them all the time, I would buy this because look how cute. Look how cute this is. So now, wherever they're from, I cut them up and put them in this little case. Because also, how easy are these to lose? No matter what package they're in some kind of like clear thing. I lose them all the time. I'm not gonna, famous last words, much less likely to lose this. Plus it comes with this, it's got a little mirror, cute, cute, cute. This is fantastic. So at the moment I've got, what kinds have I got in there? Hydrocolloid. So I'm not making that off completely. It says hydrocolloid, waterproof, bandage control, and dressing cover. So it's basically the same thing as you get for actual wounds. This is from a Yes Style brand. If it will focus, if I get my head out of the way, if it will focus, that's what it looks like. Also, look at these nails. Oh, my nail artist is not going to be happy with it. I rock up with these nails, but I trust that I'm going to leave feeling like a new woman. So yeah, this case, but not the product itself. Hair. 2 last things I want to talk about. So I've been kind of letting my hair do whatever it wants to recently. I haven't been styling it at all. I've just been getting it off my face because, number one, hot, humid, horrible muggy weather in the UK. And second of all, I again have been making lots of things, so I'm just hair up out of my face. In fact, the last time I had it done, I almost feel like it was completely wasted because I've barely put my hair down since. So, and now we're going on holiday Florida. We're probably talking months between that appointment and my next one, which is the 1st of September. And I'll have barely seen what my hair looks like down. So this is a nice, refreshing change, even though it's a mess. So, yeah, I've been letting it do whatever it wants to do. But I have been putting on lots of masks and stuff. And the best one that I've found recently is the Shea Moisture Superfruit Complex 10-in-1 Multi-Benefit Hair Mask. This brand in general is usually quite expensive. I bought this on sale at Tesco. You know when they have like the end cap aisles? I bought it on sale. I would not have bought it otherwise. Weirdly, at the same time, my daughter bought a different version. She paid full price because, you know, she's got no bills. She's got so much disposable income. She works full time. She lives at home. She bought a full price one, and she said it's absolutely amazing. And I have to say, I noticed a difference in her hair with her just walking around the house. Her hair looked fuller. It looked like silkier. It looked softer to touch. Amazing. She was really, really impressed with it. This, same thing. So I'm not convinced whether or not it's this one specifically or just the Shea Moisture brand in general. But I also want to mention, because it is expensive, you get a lot. Like, I've just scooped a load out into a little pot to take on holiday with me. You get quite a lot for your money, and you don't need that much because it's a really thick mask. You know, like some masks, it's almost like conditioner in a tub. This is a really thick, almost like a body butter thickness mask. So you don't need a lot each time. I think it actually, cost per use, would end up really much more affordable than it appears to be. But I was really, really impressed with this. So I'm going to try more from that brand. If anyone can recommend anything, I'm all ears. Lastly, because I've been letting my hair do whatever it wants, I have gone back to my favourite, Got2B Oilicious, the Weightless Dry Oil Mist. If you kind of like the idea of putting oil in your hair, but you've got fine hair like me, my hair is very fine. It gets weighed down really easily with serums and any kind of styling creams or products at all. This is completely different. So especially if you've left your hair a few days and you kind of want to zhuzh it up a little bit, I do dry shampoo in the roots, a little bit of this weightless oil in the ends, and the same as with dry shampoo. Just let it absorb a little bit. It might seem like a lot at first, rarely, but you know, if you overdo it like I do, it might seem like a lot at first, but it will absorb into your hair and it just looks so much more healthy. It feels nicer. At the moment, I feel like my hair just looks like absolute madness. Just, again, I'm letting it be, because it feels completely pointless to style my hair in this bizarre weather that we're having. I'll style it, the minute I style it, it's raining anyway, or it's really humid, so it's just frizz central. So why fight it? Let's just let it be. And so these are the products that I've been playing around with to let it do its thing. Anyway, that's it. That's everything I wanted to mention. If you've got any products that you discovered this month or rediscovered and you were like, oh my god, I forgot how amazing this is, let me know, because I'm always on the hunt for new things. But more than that, I'm hoping I already have those things in my possession and I've forgotten about them, because that happens to all of us at one time or another. I'm going to be back with some other content soon. I'm going to have a travel makeup bag. I am also going to have some vlogs coming up, and I will be doing travel Disney Florida vlogs. If anyone is interested in that, it will be over on my other channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!